Hey, 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 good morning, everybody. How's it going? Let me see here. We starting a live video here. I think we are officially live. Hello, guys. Good morning. Welcome to Java with Jess. I am in a friend's kitchen right now in England, and I wanted to come to you this morning. I've got my pink cup, I've got my pink mic. I'm all set up, ready to do this thing. So I'm coming to you. I am from the States, and so I just wanted to living in the UK, it's been quite an adventure the last decade with me. But I really just wanted to come on here and encourage some people today. So let's get started. Okay. I don't know if some of you know me. My name is Jessica Rodriguez, and I am the host of Java with Jess. Happens every week. We will be going live every week to drop nuggets, and then in between, there's some videos. So, just wanted to come on here and introduce myself. I am a speaker, author, teacher, blogger, and I was, a teacher for a very long time, living my dream. And now I am a media creative and helping women. And so today, guys, we are going to be talking about a couple of things, okay? There's 5 ways that we're going to talk about how to release toxic people. This can also mean releasing toxic things. It can be releasing, toxic lifestyle. You can, whatever is toxic in your life, there's 5 ways that we're going to talk about releasing that today, okay? So I hope that put your running shoes on, because we're going to go. Anyways, I like to start my stuff off with a joke. I'm that girl. So here's a joke about release, right? Because we're talking about release. And here's a joke. So a dad gets in the car and he says, I released a fragrance, but nobody seemed to like it. Yeah, that is a dad joke, y'all. That is a dad joke. So yeah, obviously people didn't like his fermented odor, so that didn't go over well. But so we're just gonna relax a little bit and talk about a few things that are really important. This word toxic gets pushed around quite a bit. It's something that is a very real thing in most people's lives. And so I just want to talk about that today, and touch on some things that are really I know a lot of you here, maybe you're broken, maybe your heart's been broken and you're going through a lot of things right now. Maybe you you know things aren't going right at a job. Maybe you're having some trouble with your kids. Maybe you're in some toxic environments, and maybe you're in some toxic relationships. I'm speaking to you, ladies, and I see you. I see you, and I completely understand what you're going through. I've been in your shoes in different areas of my life, career wise, and relationship wise, and things like that. And I just want you to know that you're in the right place, and that I encourage you to stay on, because you're going to get a lot of golden nuggets today, and getting you closer to the just being released from toxic people. So let's get started and just jump right in. So when you think of release, I don't know about you, but I grew up fishing. So, and I saw a movie back in I think it was the 80s or 90s, called Catch and Release. So it's about, you're catching this fish and you're releasing it. And, for me, in order to release something, right, you have to open your hand and just let it go. And sometimes it means you're like this, you're holding it, and you have to peel back the layers a little bit at a time. It's hard. You just keep, letting it go. And so the 5 ways to release today, we're going to talk about it. And I want to really get into a couple of these things, because I don't just want to talk about it and encourage you, but I want to give you some practical wisdom on how to go for it. So some of you, like, again, you're here and this has just been a year from hell for you, and I've been there and I'm there with you. So I'm just going to get started. So, the first thing that I wanted to say was that, you know, again, when you're releasing, right, there's some things that you want to ask yourself. So the first thing is, and as we are releasing, right, the first thing is this person good for my health? Is this person good for your health? Is this person someone that you can trust? Is this someone that when you say your ideas or you talk about your dreams, are they there supporting you? Do they give you a platform in which to stand like, okay, this is encouraging you to go for it? Is that person doing that? Is this person good for your health? Is this person good for your mental health? Are you busy thinking about what they say? Is what they say affect you to the point of that you can't think, and it causes insecurities and it causes different things. Is this person good for your health? Do you constantly worry about the security of the relationship? I've been there, guys. It's not this isn't healthy for you because it makes you question yourself. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, okay, is does this person add to my life? Are they adding to your vision of what you have for yourself? Because you wanted someone in your life that's going to help you exceed your vision, whether that means they're supportive, whether that means they're encouraging you, they're the cheerleader. Are they there when your days are really messed up? Are they there when you know, I'm not talking about someone who's perfect because no one's perfect, but I'm talking about that you really can't rely on them. And if you do rely on them or that person or that situation, it really just ends up bringing you heartache. So, does this person add to your life? Okay. Does this person add to your life? And if the answer is no, right, one more finger that goes up. Am I growing as a person? Okay. If this person is not helping you again grow, and you know what? It's not even just career goals. It could be helping you grow in the things that you find really, it's just your hobbies, Are they helping you? There's always untouched and untapped talent and potential in all of us. And so are they helping you? Are they helping you get there? I think I've taken up more tea since I lived in this country, but coffee will always be number one, y'all. So is this person helping you? Are they adding to your life? These are really, really important things. So here we are. Are they helping you? The first one being, are they good for your health? Second one being, is this person adding to my life? Are they helping me grow as a person? There's also spiritual principles to all of this. Are you so busy surviving what they said or how they treated you, or are you so busy with that putting all that energy into that thing or that person or that situation that it's not helping your growth? In fact, it's stunting your growth, right? And it's getting you to a place where you're not going to be able to go forward in life because you're too busy just surviving. I mean, I can't even tell you how I've been there, in a place where I'm just barely surviving. I'm just barely getting to a point where I, j- I emotionally just getting through the day. Have you been there? That's me. I've done that before where, I was in, a toxic relationship myself for, 13 years, and it was really long, and there was some good things about it and him and myself, but at the end of the day, really, and I'm going to say this, but dream bigger sooner. Some things we stay in too long. I think for me, I stayed in it too long, to be completely honest. And I'm living a good life now, and I've lived through the brutal, right? But on the other side, I took my mess and I was emphatically determined to make it into something beautiful. And you can do that with your life. You can do that with your life. And we're going to talk about that coming up. So maybe you are in the situation where you feel like you can't get out of it. Maybe you're feeling that this person broke my heart, man. Like I don't even, I'm just trying to survive the day, but this person is not helping your growth. That doesn't help you grow. Okay. So that's one reason to let go. Am I losing who I am? Have you forgotten the things that you love? I know I did. Have you forgotten what it meant to actually travel? You know, uh, maybe you're an artist of some sort and that's just put on the back burner because you're trying to survive through this stuff that you're going through and this mess. Maybe, you want to be a writer. Maybe you want to own your own business. You want to do something for you. And that's really, you're, it's not happening. Right. And so I just want to say that, all of this, the best is yet to come. Okay. And, in losing yourself, which happens because you're trying to survive and you're heartbroken and you're hurt, it's hard to let go because that has become familiar. The the heartbreak has become familiar. The drama, guys, has become familiar. Instead of having adrenaline about what you love and about what you want to do with your life and being creative and helping people or whatever it is the desire in your heart and your dream, all of that is being quenched, squashed for the survival of what you're going through with this person. And so that's another reason for releasing, right? Releasing toxic people. I would say, the last one, we talked about, are you losing yourself, right? The last one says, do I have room for anything else? Do I have room for good things to come into my life in abundance? Do I have room for, all the good stuff that I'm waiting for to happen to me? Do I have room for these dreams and to even think of anything new? And so those are your 5 reasons, guys. Like the first one, like we said before, is this good for my health, my mental health? Is it? Okay. Does the person add to my life? Does this person add to my life? Okay. Am I growing as a person? Am I growing as a person? Sorry, my my email is going off in the back. Am I growing as a person? Okay. Am I losing myself? And do I have room for other things in my life? Other events, other things that are going to build me up? Another person? Do I have room for that? And if I don't have room to receive anything because I'm so full of things, because we leak what we're full of, right? And if I don't have room for any of that, then something needs to be released. And for something new to begin, something old has to die. And so I just want to encourage someone out there today that this is your new time. This is your new beginning. This is the time to and trust me when I say I'm not advocating if you're married, I'm not advocating for divorce. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's a good thing. I'm not advocating for certain things because that's something you have to work out with you and God and yourself. And I would never encourage anyone to ever do anything like that. However, if there's repeated, I'm just going to say it, if you've been abandoned, if you've been abused, if there's disloyalties in the situation, if you are losing yourself and all of these things, then there comes a time, and we're going to talk more about this in the coming weeks, each week. This is just solely about releasing toxic relationships, right? But if you're feeling this way, then it's time for you to take a step back and regain that power and regain that control back for yourself that you can have. Because the reality is you can never make anyone else happy. You can never make anyone else happy. You can only make yourself happy. And there's a lot of talk of narcissism. There's a lot of talk of all these things. And I know those are really popular ideas and words. Yes, of course. But what I want to say about that is that there comes a time where we need to choose the quality of what we want our life to be about. And we spend so much time, and I'm one of those, Latin, Spanish people. So that grew up, coming from a family, growing up in America, growing up in Italy when I was a kid. I've seen different parts of the world over the years. And I just want to say that, you can be tenacious and stubborn about this and that and this and that and your ideas. And that's great to be passionate. But we spend so much time being passionate about things that are not good for us or that really don't lend any fruit. So if let's not be passionate about and tenacious and stubborn about our pride or what the things that are going to create hate in our heart and unforgiveness. Let's be passionate about how we can rebuild ourselves, how we can repair the broken places, how we can look at a situation and forgive ourselves. That's really key. Forgiving what's happened doesn't mean that you take that person back. Forgiving that person doesn't mean that you allow them in your life again. Or forgiving that situation, or maybe you have a parent that was abusive to you. You had a husband or a boyfriend, or you were involved in, business with someone or inside of a company and they treated you badly, right? And I just want to say that I've been there. There's so many stories, and my whole course and coaching session is about, it's called Light, and how I got from A to B, and I go into great detail on how to, and it's all about changing your mindset and getting to that point where you want to be successful at the end of the day, and reinventing and recreating yourself into. There's another program called Thrive that I've just created these programs for ladies, and I just, it gives you a better idea of where to go, like the trajectory. You're forging out your own path. You're forging out your own future, and you're tenacious and stubborn about that and not letting someone else dictate to you how your life's going to go. And I don't mean that in a, they're not going to tell me nothing. I mean, I know that sounds really ghetto when I say it like that, but it's not like that. But yeah, if you got that in you, it's time to get up. Girl with the sword, right? Get up, fight for what is yours. Fight for your new life, what you want to do with it that's going to make you grow as a person. Because you can't give to anyone if you are full of sadness and you're lost and you have no dreams inside of yourself. You can't help other people. And there's something inside of you that people need. I'm going to say that again. That's a writer downer. That's a writer downer. You have something inside of you that needs to be released to somebody else. But it will never happen if you play small. Today is your calling. Today is the day to wake up about it. I encourage you to plug into these sessions that are going to be coming up next week. I have a challenge coming up in April, and you'll see more information about that here. And I'm on Instagram and on Facebook. And I'll put all the links inside these videos when they're finished. But I just want you guys to know that today is your day. Today is your day not to play small, to go after your dreams. You can recreate yourself once. You can recreate yourself twice. I've done it. You can do it. I'm recreating myself now. And we do this forever. We do this forever until we're no longer alive. But there's something inside of you that is waiting. It's waiting. Somebody needs you out there. and you are your action, your call to action, you know, what you do, you're someone else's blessing. Someone's going to be blessed on the other side because of the things that you decide to do today for tomorrow. And I just want you to know that. And I want you to be encouraged by that. And so, if you're out there and you're listening, be encouraged by it. Let this be your motivator. Let this be your motivator. I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's hard. It's going to be easy. I'm not saying that oh, just, do this and do that. I know that it's difficult, but there's always a big but. Everyone I know has a big but, I'm just kidding, including myself. But your life is precious. Beautiful woman of impact. You are precious. And today's the day. Today's the beginning of that. So who do you need to release today? Who do you need? If you're holding on, who do you need to release so that you can make room for the new beginning? So that you can make room for what's coming. So there's 5 ways to release toxic relationships. I'm going to take some questions. I've had a couple of people. Hi, Loretta. How are you? I've got some people here that ask good questions, actually. Let me see. So if you have some questions, just put them in the chat. Let's see here. Give me just a second. So guys, if this is giving you value, drop a comment, drop some emojis. Let me know if this is helping you, if this is impacting you, if you feel encouraged. I go into this in more detail in my courses. I tell my whole story. I don't even recognize myself. Like back then, I was such a broken person before I ever met this person. But then after being, with this person for 13 years, I was very broken when that whole thing just disintegrated and fell apart. But I mean, even my countenance has changed. My eyes, the way I see life has changed. My determination has changed. My confidence has changed. There's so much that has changed over this period of time, and I go into great detail about that inside of my course. So we'll talk about that later. But I'm going to answer some questions. I'm going to do a Q&A. I'm going to take just a few questions. I have someone here who wrote to me. She says, if I read this correctly, I know I need to let go, but I really don't know how to. What do I do? What can I do realistically? Okay, what can I do realistically to let him go? Well, these are good questions. Now, I guess, part of what I want to say about that is that in letting go, we have a tight grip on it, right? Like we have a really tight grip on things whenever we're trying to let go. While you're doing this, so okay, she's clarifying the question. Hold on a second. So she knows she needs to do this, and she knows that there's going to come a time for this to be done. However, she doesn't know when. Is that correct? Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying. So she knows that she needs to let go and that she has plans to do this, but until it happens, what should she do in the meantime? So I'm going to answer that question. So the answer would be, in the meantime, I think in the meantime, you're going to need a support system. If you know that you're about to make a really difficult decision in releasing someone, especially if you've been with them for a long time, or you've been with that company for a long time, or it's your family, um, you need to have a support system that's going to help you. And this support system is going to kind of act as a buffer for you uh, until you can get out of the situation. So, for example, I talk about this a lot in my course. It's called BID, Beauty in a Box, and it's about starting from the beauty from within. It's a huge resource inside of the course, on top of the courses and the videos and the applications and things like that. The life application sheets and everything that's in there is just really. I've stuck a like I was trying to think about when I was going through all of, releasing people from my, toxic relationships myself, what I had to go through in order to encourage myself, because sometimes you got to be your own cheerleader. So, one, I guess I would say, you've got to be your own cheerleader. You've got to be the one that makes those steps to, you know, um, encourage yourself. So business Beauty in Your Box does this, and it starts from within. This beauty starts from within. Like, for example, in Beauty in a Box, what you can do is you can start preparing your heart spiritually for what's going to happen, because right now you're in a transition. When you're by yourself, you can heal more, but it still isn't going to be any less painful. Right now, you're still in it. You haven't been able to make that complete release, but you're on your way. So until that time comes, I would say spend a lot of time in self-care. I know it's a big thing out there, and people are like, "Oh, self-care this, self-care that. Let's do this." Oh, self-care. But it's so true. Don't knock it until you've tried it. Self-care can be anything from, reading books that help you. I read the Bible a lot. I still do. It's an important part of my spiritual and beauty building daily and vitality. I spent a lot of time, you know, uh, reading other books too. That was helpful. I was really into reading like quotes and putting them up on the wall, um, pictures, getting a new vision. I was already beginning to have a new vision for my life and what I wanted that to be. Cutting out pictures, putting them up on the wall. We talk a lot about that in my course as well too, how to set goals, because the second part of the coaching program, Thrive, first we get our mindset correct, and the second part of Thrive is going right into recreating our new beginning with your career, with what you want to do with your life, dreaming new dreams, things like that, because we're stuck. When we haven't let go completely, we're kind of in this incubator, like a caterpillar. We're in that incubation period. So I would say, spend a lot of time, beautifying yourself from the inside out, and then the outside. Go get a massage, go take a day trip, go with a friend for coffee. Force yourself to do it, because when you do it, you'll be glad that you did. Okay. If you've got family that's supporting you, go hang out with them. Sometimes that's tricky though, because family can, like, does it make you feel better because you still care about this person to a certain degree? And if they, start, hammering on them, it doesn't really help you. It's just, that can be hurtful because you still care about the situation. So sometimes not talking to family is a good idea, but maybe having another group of people that can encourage you would be great. Preferably, other females, because other guy dynamics can just exacerbate and make the situation worse and create some tension between men and women that don't need to be there, and you're still trying to recover from your present situation with who you're with. So it's better to not think about a man right now. I'm sorry to say that, but I know for some people they're like, what do you mean? But you can't put a band-aid on something that's already festering. If you have a wound and there's something going on and you're trying to treat what's happening now, you can't put another band-aid on with someone else in something other situation to treat the problem. This is your call for you to do this alone. Some roads you got to go alone. And baby girl, women of impact, this is one of them. So I just want to encourage you in that way. This is such a good question because I also think that you need to you need to work on your soul, man. You need to laugh, go do some fun things for yourself. Go hang out with someone, go take a day trip, go travel. Read some books, guys. Read the Bible, there's so many amazing things inside the word that will change you and revitalize you from the inside out. You will be surprised. You will look at yourself differently in the mirror. You will see it's almost as if you start to de-age and you're anti-aging from the inside out because you're getting healed. And that's really important. I would also say, start building up hope. Start thinking about good things happening to you. You know, uh, start to just build up that soul, man. Fuel up, refuel with hope. Daily refuel with hope. Whatever you need to do, get yourself in a place to refuel. Okay. Maybe that's taking a walk and refueling. Maybe that's going to the gym. Maybe that's spending some time journaling and reading something. Maybe that's going and watching a funny movie. Maybe it's that. Building hope. And I think the last thing I would say about this question would be two things. Forgive yourself. Okay. Sometimes when we're depressed and we're angry, depression is anger turned inward. And we do a lot of self-harm. We're harming ourselves. It could be that you're even literally cutting yourself. It could be that you're angry. Well, I should have done this, and why is this happening? And it's this depression. And I've been there. I've been so depressed where I couldn't get out of bed, and I just wanted to be under the covers. And I think that comes at different times in life. But forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for what happened. Forgive them even for what happened. Forgive that situation. Forgive yourself because, I heard a preacher say once that unforgiveness is like drinking poison, expecting the other person to die. And really it affects you. And I know that maybe you're not ready to let it go, but maybe if you just making the decision, I am going to let this go, even though you don't feel like it. You're not saying that what they did was right. You're not saying that they got away with it, because at the end of the day, it's more about you and you feeling, released and you feeling better, because this thing will just eat away at you if you don't forgive. And in forgiving them, it doesn't even mean that you continue having a relationship with them or you ever speak to them again. You can forgive. I had to forgive this person in my own life, but I never want to speak to them again. I don't want to have a relationship. I don't want to be friends, and that really depends on what happens in the events and in the relationship. Maybe you have some parents that did some things. Forgiving them is good. Trying to rebuild that relationship because they're your blood kin, right? If that's possible. I don't know. Maybe you were abused. Maybe it was a terrible relationship. I'm not saying that that's what you should do. That's something that you will find out in time. But the first way to release them and the first way to healing is to completely let it go and to allow those things to not control you. Because already this situation has taken too much control in your lives. That's what happened to me. I spent, 13 years allowing this thing to take control of my life. 13 years to do that. And I was determined when it was finished that I was no longer going to allow it to take any more control of my thoughts or have any place in my life. And so that's for you too. Like, when is enough is enough? When is this person going to not have any more control over who you are and what you're going to do with your life? It is you're the one that has to live with you every day. You know, what are you going to put your energy into? And so part of the forgiveness is releasing them and knowing that, God will take care of it. It will be okay. It will. I promise. Releasing it and forgiving this person, but at the same time, you don't have to continue a relationship with them if it's toxic. There's nowhere where you need to do that. You can forgive and release them and move on. And that's really, I think, important to talk about. Um, yeah, the forgiveness part. I think, yeah. So the forgiving yourself, and building hope and just allowing yourself to, you know rise up into the woman that you were always meant to be. And so, I can't stress that enough. And there's one last thing I'm going to say about that before I go on. I have someone else that has a couple of questions. um, the thing I want to say about that too is that, you know dream bigger sooner. If I could go back and do things over again, I don't regret ever being with people who hurt me. I don't regret ever being with this person in particular, that particular situation. I don't regret having that, because it's made me the woman that I am today, and it's helped me heal, and now I help other women. And so I just think that, I'm not saying, you don't want to give up on people, right? If that's what you feel, that you want to stay with someone, but you need to dream bigger sooner. And sometimes we stay in relationships too long because, we think that, well, if I stay, then they'll change. There's something I can do. And we take this responsibility that doesn't even belong to us because it belongs to them. We can't take responsibility for the relationship. We're not going to save anything. It takes two people. We're not going to make something happen. We're not, and we don't need to beg for someone's attention. Not you. No, not me. No, we don't need to beg for someone's attention because we are already beautiful. We are already the prize, and we recognize that, and we need to be with someone who recognizes that. We need to be with a group of people who recognize that. Friendships, it could be even female friendships, if they don't even see it, because there's a lot of stuff that happens in school and friendships and business with women, and instead of, you know uh, bashing each other, we need to learn to support each other's dreams. And those are the kinds of women I want to be around, right? And you want to be around. So it's really important that we think about that. So I would say that while you're on your way to, not being in that relationship until you've made that decision, and also give yourself a deadline, like have a deadline. Maybe for you, you're like, okay, I'm ending this thing in like 2 weeks, but be tenacious about that. Be stubborn. Okay, I'm giving this person. I'm going to be leaving in a month, or I need to kind of work out some things. If you're, I don't know what the situation is. Maybe you live together in a house and you got to kind of deal with that. You have kids and you have to kind of deal with all of that. If it is absolutely impossible for reconciliation, trust me, I am about reconciliation. I'm not saying that you just walk out on someone, but I am saying that if you keep trying and there's repeated behavior of abuse, there's repeated behavior of, disloyalty. If you're married, if it's adultery, right? If you're in a relationship and there's, he's not faithful. If you are in a situation and all these things, right? At some point, always push, especially when you're married, always push for reconciliation. Always push for reconciliation. But there comes a time where you've tried a lot, and if you feel you need to pull the plug out of this toxic situation, then that's what needs to happen. I don't regret any of the things that happened to me, but I do wish I would have pulled the plug sooner. Because, we only get one life. We only get one shot at it. And this is the time to go for it. So, good question, by the way. So let me see if I read this right. The second question here, let me just look at here. Okay. So the second question, okay. She says, I don't recognize myself. How do I cope? I didn't recognize myself either. I spent a lot of time, like I was saying before, surviving. I was surviving things for so long that I didn't allow myself. I was just surviving. I mean, think about like being poor and destitute, right? Like you don't have food. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I didn't have food during that time. I am saying though that I didn't have the love and nourishment in that situation that was required. And I spent a lot of time just surviving day by day, worrying, crying. I had to go to work, so I had to hide that from people. I've never been a good faker, so I just kind of did my thing. You could always see it in my eyes, though. Like my eyes I can't lie. If I'm unhappy, you can see it. If I'm upset, you can see it. If I'm, all those things, my eyes just say everything. But I spent a lot of time where I didn't recognize myself either because I was so busy coping. I was so busy trying to survive. And so I guess I would say this is such a good question. I'm going to reread it really quickly again. You're just surviving, right? And you're just getting through. And that's what happened to me was I was just getting through. And I think the thing that I would say as far as coping is continue to encourage yourself. You're coping through the situation. You're continue to surround yourself with positive things. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. If you have friendships, family relationships, husband, boyfriend, toxic relationships that you're trying to get out of, it takes some time to get out of those things. It doesn't happen overnight. But the beauty on the other side is that you finally are released from the person that you were. You're finally different. And you'll start feeling yourself like, I'm not thinking about that as much anymore. And then new interests start opening up because when you get your eyes off of the energy of what that's sucking out of you, then you're like, I really do like to sing, which is what happened to me because I was always a singer. I always loved music. Then I started singing and songwriting and playing instruments again. I started to, go and travel the way I wanted to. I love doing that. Go and, I really enjoyed, my niece is a really good makeup artist. So she, I was always into like makeup and things like that. I was just being a girl. I'm just being a girl, going and having fun. And I like to walk. I'm doing walking. I started working out more. My definition, I guess, of what I was doing for me, that was my interests. For you, maybe your interest is you like to read more books. Maybe you're a writer. I'm also a writer. Maybe you enjoy, helping kids. I'm a teacher. Maybe you enjoy doing that. Like, start opening up to all the things that you're interested in. Start making some goals for yourself about what you want to accomplish for that month. Because when you start to ignite your dreams and start to ignite those goals, it's like you start to just grow and blossom into somebody that was always there inside of you, the real you. And I guess that's what I really want to stress to everybody, is that you are getting down to business of the real you. Who is the real you? Who is the real you? What an adventure that is going to be to figure it out or dig up what's already there. And we spend so much time mourning over what happened that we haven't been able to get out and do anything. We haven't been able to decipher exactly what it is we like and don't like. Well, this is the time to do that and grow as a person. And so to cope, I would say, start to look for things that you enjoy doing. Start to, again, dreaming. Write down your dreams. Because this is just the beginning. And so I just want you to know, again, this is not the end. This is not the end. It is the end of something. But for something new to begin, something old has to die. That is a writer downer, guys. For something new to begin, something old has to die. Yeah. And the new beginning is coming. It's coming the moment you decide. And if you can't believe that, or you're having a hard time having faith about that new beginning, please borrow my belief. Borrow my belief. Borrow my faith to take it for your faith to believe, okay, today I can do this. I can cope. I can make a new beginning. I can forge something different. I can declutter my brain. I can, make those goals for myself. I can step out. And so I just, want you to really be encouraged by all of that, because this is just the beginning. So I have one more question here from someone. They sent me something. It says, I feel like, okay, hang on. It says, I feel like I can't get out of my situation and I can't stop thinking about what happened. This is such a wonderful, I love this question, to be honest. This is a great question. So in order to think, we have to take something out and we have to put something else back in. So what this means is that if we're going to declutter and we're going to if we're going to declutter our brain and things, take care of our stinking thinking, as I like to say. If we're going to do that, then we've got to take something else out. But we can't leave our brain empty. We've got to put something else back in. And so what I do a lot in my course is we write a letter to ourselves and we change the narrative. One of the things we do is change the narrative. And the narrative is what you've been saying to yourself and what you've been thinking about yourself, and how to actually rewrite that. What do you want that to look like? So we go through step by step how to do that. But it is changing the narrative, even if you have to do it every day. I had to do it a lot in the beginning, every single day, taking it out of my head, putting it back in, taking this thought out of my head, putting the truth back in, because that's what you're doing. You're taking out what isn't true and you're putting the new narrative about yourself inserted inside of your head. You're taking out the old and you're putting in the new thing. And so I just, writing a letter to yourself, where do you want to see yourself in a year? Like, where do you want to see yourself in a year? Spiritually, emotionally, financially, career-wise, love. Write a letter to yourself in a year, date it from now to the end of the year, and see how it unfolds. Just write it down, and it's rewriting the narrative. That's one piece. The second piece is actually rewriting how you think about yourself, who you see, what you want to see. And so that can also be done separately apart from the letter. But rewriting the narrative, physically rewriting it and putting it up, right? Because it says to write the vision and make it plain. So literally rewriting it, what you think and what you want to see about yourself for that whole year and your new goals, and putting it up on the wall and believing what you've written. That's another thing. It's one thing to write it out, but it's another thing to actually believe what you're saying to yourself. And so rewriting the narrative starts there, and it's a growth process. Sometimes I'm still rewriting the narrative about certain things in my life in different areas now, but um, I'm rewriting that narrative, and I'm sticking it up somewhere as I've written it with pictures and everything to really believe and get that solidified in my spirit and in my heart that it's a new day and this is something that's new. So I would say that that's a good way to rewrite your narrative, and you have to sometimes do it every day. And sometimes it's like a chore, and you don't believe it. But when those thoughts come in, you got to take them out and then put in the new thought. And that is a good way to start rewriting the narrative and get control of your thoughts, because your thoughts are going to be the fuel that drives this train, y'all. So I want you to be encouraged about all of this today. I hope this is helping someone. I hope that, these are our 5 reasons to be releasing toxic people. And it takes a little bit at a time as we open up our hands and we say that we are not going to live like this, and that it's time for us to take control back of our own life. And we're going to be talking about this and other elements of things in the coming weeks and in the coming months. And so during my course, so that's going to be starting in April, I talk about this, and I'm going to be providing tools for you in all of these areas. Okay. And we're going to just talk, this is about taking back your life. It's taking back your life. That's what this course is about. It's taking back your life. It's called the Light Course, LIGHT, and there's each elements inside of there that are geared towards setting you free. And I'm going to be working with you on releasing your past so that you can repair and repurpose and rebuild really your whole situation and your whole life and all your dreams that are coming to pass today. And so we can't do anything about what happened in the past, but we can definitely change our future. We can definitely change our future. And so I hope that we can change our future into something beautiful. We can turn our mess into something beautiful. And in the I share a little bit in the course about my story more in depth, but really we're not focusing on what happened. We're focusing on how to get us to the next level and get you there quicker. I wished I would have had somebody back then telling me what I'm saying to you. I wish I would have had that. I didn't have that. But the purpose of having a coach and a course is to get you there sooner and to dream bigger sooner. So I really hope that you guys had a good time here. I had a good time sitting here with, just being able to talk about this a little bit. I know that these are subjects that are really needed. And I'm here to be your cheerleader. And anytime you want some encouragement, just pop on here. If you like what you've heard today, please press the like button. Please like my page. If you're on Facebook, everyone on YouTube, follow me for future subscriptions. And, I'm excited to be here. This is going to be amazing. My challenge will start on the 6th of April through the 8th for 3 days. We will be getting in depth with what's going to be in my course, the kinds of things. I'm going to give you drop some nuggets about what's going to happen, and just some more encouragement and things that you can hear be encouraged by, and apply in your life. I'm all about the practical application. It's good to say great things that are warm and fuzzy, but also to give you that extra ounce of how do I put this into play? How can I purpose it in my life? And that's what we're going to be talking about. And so if you like what you hear, again, just hit all the like buttons and send me an email. If you want to be a part of the email list, let me know. My email is something beautiful NB, the letter NB at gmail.com. And if you want to be a part of our monthly blog. So you guys be encouraged. It's fun days and good days are ahead of us. And this is the unveiling. Like the unveiling that's happening is so amazing. And it hurts to have your wounds treated. It hurts. Think about when you were a kid and you went to your mom or your parent or your dad. And you're like, I have a cut. And they had to go and put ointment on it. And the first thing you did was, yeah, this is the moments. And I know it's hard, but my big butt again, it's going to be okay. And it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. But you're braver than you think you are. You're braver than you think you are. And you are more lovely and beautiful than you think you are. And it's time. Your time. Such a time as this. To be something beautiful, women of impact. So I'm so happy that you joined me. And I'll join you next week on the next Java with Jess coffee morning. And I will see you guys later on the flip side. Okay? All right. Bye. Oop.